Hi, Dr. Heather here from Wellspring Chiropractic Lifestyle Center. All of us are fat. What I mean by that is we're all made of cells, and our cells are made of fat. Look, fat has been demonized. This whole fat-free craze that we went through was undermining our health. Fats are good. Fats are healthy. Fats will help you lose weight. Fats will help your sugar cravings. Fats are good. And oftentimes we think of good fats and bad fats. We do have to look at that. But I want to reference it differently. I want you to think about it as there are great fats and there are terrible fats. Really, we need to discern it that way. So what are the great fats? Well, the great fats are going to be based on, if we look genetically, what our demands are. It's those essential fatty acids in the right balance. And the reason is that fat has two purposes. The first purpose is to be an energy source, and it's very sustainable. It's a really good energy source for long-term energy, different from carb burning. If we're a carb burner, burning the carbohydrates based on sugars, we're going to have that spike in blood sugar with zooming energy and then a crash. If we have that fat burning energy, it's sustainable. So we use fat as a fuel, but we also use fat as a building block. Every cell membrane requires fats in order for it to be healthy. And that means that cell can then be a healthy cell doing its job. So every cell membrane needs fat. Our brains are made of fat. Our hormones are made of fat. So we need the good fats. And here's what the great fats are. They are things like avocados, raw seeds, and nuts. Those are good sources of fat. Also, wild-caught fish and grass-fed meats, pastured pork, free-range chickens and eggs. Those are all the really great sources of fantastic fats. What about the terrible fats? Those are going to be the industrialized vegetable oils. So the soybean oil, the corn oil, the canola oil, any of those kinds of oils. And in fact, even nuts and seeds that have been processed into oils, those also are the unhealthy oils. Hydrogenated oils, hydrogenated fats are the terrible fats. And of course, the fried foods with the trans fats, all of that, those are the terrible fats. Avoid those. And here's why. In our cell membrane, we have to have a certain balance of omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. And we talk about these as essential fatty acids. Essential means that we require them and we can't make them ourselves. So omega-6 and omega-3 are those essential fatty acids, but we need a proper balance for them. Omega-3 fatty acids keep the cell membrane very fluid and supple so it can be responsive and it can change. Omega-6 fatty acids provide structure for the cell membrane. So we need both, but we need it in a very good ratio. And in our culture, because we are dominating our diets with the unhealthy fats as well as the carbs, then we're getting the grains, we're getting a lot of the omega-6s from that. And the omega-6s, when they dominate, they make the cell too rigid, and then it cannot be responsive. And that starts to affect our health. So I want you to think about the fats as the great fats and the terrible fats, and think about how you can reconcile that. The best practice is to avoid the grains and the unhealthy oils and to add fish oil in each day, because fish oil has the perfect balance of the omega-6s and the omega-3s. So think about that as your best practice, and remember, all of us are fat. Celebrate it.